course, we're getting all the credit now on the Calm Down podcast.
Yeah.
We hope to officiate the wedding.
The nectar of the gods.
When y'all get married, let your boy Flavor Flav be the officiator. I would love to officiate the wedding. You know what I'm saying?
If you guys need a DJ, Travis and Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. If you need a comedian to go as well, I can do some stand-up.
Let's all get on that wedding.
When Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce announced their engagement, it set off a frenzy as Hollywood, sports, and even politicians scrambled to score a spot at what's already being called the wedding of the century. Everyone wants in, from rock stars offering to perform to mayors pitching cakes, but few have a stronger claim than Erin Andrews and Charissa Thompson. The sports broadcasters were the unofficial matchmakers who hyped Travis on their podcast back in 2023, urging Taylor to swipe right already, and 2 years later, boom, ring on her finger. Now they're campaigning to officiate the wedding, and the thought of Andrews in a power suit, Thompson cracking jokes, and the vows pausing for instant replay is exactly the kind of glorious chaos this event needs.
We're getting all the credit now on the Calm Down podcast.
Yeah.
We hope to officiate the wedding.
When Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce announced their engagement, it didn't just break the internet. It sparked a frenzy of celebrities, politicians, and cultural icons lining up to pitch themselves for a role in what's already being called the wedding of the century. From sports broadcasters and mayors to governors, lifestyle gurus, and even hype men, everyone seems determined to grab a piece of the spotlight on this once-in-a-generation event. Erin Andrews and Charissa Thompson topped the list, not just because of their friendship with the couple, but because they were the original matchmakers who publicly championed the pairing back in 2023, playfully telling Taylor to give Travis a chance and setting the stage for the romance that followed. Now, after vacationing together in Montana and claiming their "You're Welcome America" moment, they're openly campaigning to officiate, promising a mix of professionalism, humor, and even instant replay breaks during the vows, which honestly sounds like the kind of fun chaos this wedding needs. Next comes Kansas City's own Mayor Quinton Lucas, who represents the city where Travis's NFL career made him a household name. Lucas has joked for years about wanting to officiate, calling their potential wedding a Hallmark movie on steroids, envisioning a ceremony at Arrowhead Stadium with confetti cannons instead of flower petals, and though he insists it might outshine his political career, he's clearly serious about making it happen, reminding fans through interviews and social media that his offer still stands, because if it isn't Arrowhead with Lucas at the altar, Kansas City might just riot. Then there's Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee, who saw his opening and jumped in by pitching Taylor's Seaside Watch Hill Mansion as the ultimate wedding venue, boasting that his state has some of the best backdrops in the country. Considering Taylor's home there has already hosted A-list gatherings with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Bradley Cooper, and even Travis himself, the idea of exchanging vows with waves crashing behind them sounds less like a wedding and more like a Nicholas Sparks novel, set to a chart-topping soundtrack, and McKee is clearly ready to toast the couple with lobster rolls in hand. Not to be outdone, Colorado Governor Jared Polis declared himself a Swiftie-certified wedding officiant and invited the couple to consider the Rockies for their big day, tweeting congratulations with more Easter eggs than a Taylor Swift album rollout and dropping lyrical references to Lover, Reputation, and the Tortured Poets Department to prove his fandom, all while painting a vivid picture of Taylor walking down a meadow aisle framed by snow-capped peaks, and Travis rocking a tux with cowboy boots, a vision that might just rival the Super Bowl for spectacle. And then, almost on cue, lifestyle legend Martha Stewart entered the chat, casually sipping wine while suggesting that it was time to call in the ultimate wedding planner, and if anyone could deliver a 3-day extravaganza fit for royalty, it's her. From handcrafted invitations edged in gold foil and farm-to-table rehearsal dinners to tablescapes so perfect they'd make Blake Lively emotional, a 6-tier cake baked with lavender from her personal garden, and monogrammed linens that guests would be tempted to sneak home, Stewart would make this wedding a fairy tale with her signature polish, even convincing Travis to swap his beer for top-shelf Chardonnay during the first dance. But perhaps the most unexpected volunteer is none other than Flavor Flav, who proudly dubbed himself the King of Swifties, and immediately told reporters he wanted to officiate, not just attend or hype it from the sidelines, but actually lead the ceremony with his trademark energy, giant clock necklace swinging, and booming charisma, because let's be honest, the idea of him announcing, "Do you take this man to be your end game?" might be the most unforgettable wedding moment in pop culture history. Taken together, These pitches show just how massive the Swift-Kelce wedding has become, transcending music, sports, and politics into a cultural event where everyone, from city officials and governors to TV hosts and icons, wants to be part of the story. Whether it happens in a stadium packed with fans, a Rhode Island mansion by the sea, a mountain meadow in Colorado, or under the watchful eye of Martha Stewart or Flavor Flav, one thing is clear. This won't be just a wedding, it will be a spectacle, a celebration, and a piece of history that fans and celebrities alike are eager to witness.
The nectar of the gods.
Flavor Flav's loyalty to Taylor Swift has been nothing short of legendary. Ever since the Eras tour, he's been swapping friendship bracelets with fans like he's been part of the fandom since Teardrops on My Guitar. And when news of the engagement broke, he came with pure sincerity, blessing the couple with hopes for the longest, happiest marriage ever, proving that the hype man of Public Enemy might just be Cupid in disguise. Then there's Foreigner, the iconic rock band that didn't just congratulate the couple but sent in what might be the smoothest wedding pitch of all time, sliding into Instagram with the line, "Dear Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, we know what love is. We've spent 40 years figuring it out, and now you guys have too. Please accept this as our formal offer to be your wedding band." Which isn't even a pitch, it's destiny. Just imagine the reception with Taylor slow dancing to "I Want to Know What Love Is," Travis spinning her around, confetti flying, Mama Kelce sobbing into her Chiefs jersey, and the crowd turning into a full-blown stadium sing-along when they launch into Cold as Ice, goosebumps guaranteed. But no wedding is complete without cake, and that's where Buddy Valastro, the cake boss himself, comes in, sliding into the chat on September 5th with the ultimate flex. You know who to call if you need a wedding cake, which in translation basically means forget Costco sheet cakes. Buddy's ready to stack a 10-tier masterpiece taller than Travis in cleats. And Buddy isn't some random baker fishing for clout, he's got Swiftie history. Having met Taylor back in 2011 during the Speak Now tour where he presented her with a custom cake complete with Swift figurines, and now 13 years later, he's still proudly repping, commenting, "I'm a Swiftie," like he's on the Eras crew himself. Just picture it. A paper rings layer wrapped in gold fondant, a love story tier with edible turrets, maybe even a karma layer filled with glitter sprinkles that explode into confetti when cut. If anyone can turn dessert into a Broadway-worthy spectacle, it's Buddy. And then swooping in with the smoothest casual flex of them all, comes Mark Ronson, who dropped his offer not in a DM but on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, casually saying, "Oh hey, I'll DJ your wedding too." As if this were Craigslist and he was just posting an ad. But when you're Mark Ronson, one of the most celebrated producers alive, you don't need to beg, because the thought of Taylor and Travis's wedding reception turning into a Ronson-curated playlist, with seamless mixes of her greatest hits, classic anthems, and dance tracks that could keep the entire guest list on their feet all night, is enough to elevate this already massive event into cultural legend.
When y'all get married, let your boy Flavor Flav be the officiator. I would love to officiate the wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Mark Ronson isn't just any DJ. This man has Grammys and Oscar, and probably the cleanest vinyl collection on earth. Imagine Taylor and Travis entering the reception to a Ronson remix of Shake It Off layered over Uptown Funk, leaving Aunt Karen from Missouri torn between sipping champagne or breaking into a TikTok dance. And Ronson, never one to play it small, even joked about bringing Paul McCartney along, because if you're going to DJ the wedding of the century, why not add a Beatle as your hype man?
You guys need a DJ, Travis and Taylor.
Yeah, exactly.
Taylor and Travis may want to keep their wedding private, but if Mark Ronson actually takes over the turntables, the dance floor will be anything but chill. Think hotter than a Chiefs playoff game in overtime. And that brings us to number 1, Jimmy Fallon. The Tonight Show host couldn't resist joining the star-studded list of volunteers. On September 11th, right after guest Mark Ronson casually offered to DJ the wedding, Fallon jumped in with perfect comedic timing, joking, "If you need a comedian to go as well, I can do some stand-up."
Yeah.
We have a whole new campaign.
We need to get McCartney on that campaign.
The timing couldn't have been better. Ronson was already joking about DJing while his stepdad's band, Foreigner, threw in their offer to handle the live music, so Fallon leaned straight into the chaos. Picture it. Mark Ronson dropping mashups, Foreigner belting out "I Want to Know What Love Is," and Fallon sneaking in a quick 5-minute set between the maid of honor speech and the champagne toast. That's not just a wedding reception. That's basically an NBC variety special waiting to happen. Fallon, of course, has always been firmly in Swift's orbit, whether through musical impressions, sketch comedy, or endless cheerleading on late night. Sliding into the role of wedding comedian feels perfectly on brand for the former SNL star, who can roast himself just as easily as he can break into song mid-monologue. Whether Taylor and Travis actually want Fallon working a mic at their reception is a whole other story. But with the flood of celebrities pitching themselves for roles in this wedding, you can't count him out. And if he doesn't make the cut, one thing's certain: he'll turn the entire saga into a comedy sketch anyway.